Hello, welcome back to Galactic Goddess TV, where soul meets sovereignty. I'm your host, Radhaa Nilia, and today's transmission is encoded as we have with us Maya the Shaman. She's a visionary healer and the author of Decrees of Commands. We're going to have a sacred conversation on the spiritual technology of decrees. And together we'll explore what it means to speak from the heart of the creator. So this isn't just an interview, it's actually an activation. We dive into the purpose of decrees with the differences and affirmations, differences between affirmations and the command level language, and the role of creator's court in restoring truth, justice, and soul sovereignty. So welcome, Maya.
Thank you, Radha. Thank you for having me here.
It's always a beautiful blessing for us to sit down and do these together. So I'd like to start off with asking, what does it mean to you, when you say speaking a decree from the heart of the creator, and where does the heart of the creator, where did that come from?
Okay. First and foremost, the heart of Creator is the source of all that is, the creator of this universe and multiverse. And to speak a decree from the heart of Creator is to return to the original source code of all truth, all life, and all divine authority. It means I'm not speaking from my ego when I do decrees or emotions or vengeance. I am speaking from a place that exists beyond polarity. So it is a sacred neutrality that is anchored in divine justice. And that's what I do first before I speak a decree. And when I decree from the Creator's heart or space, I am aligning my soul, my breath, and my voice with the most ancient and the purest vibrational law that governs all creation. And this means I become a conduit, not just for healing, but for rightful restoration. So these decrees are not casual affirmations. They are encoded instructions that ripple through timelines and dimensions as a soul contracts has been created. They are spoken with reverence, but they carry the fire of divine enforcement. So when we speak from the Creator's heart, the universe listens. It aligns and it obeys. These are energies that comes through the universe, through us, and
Mhm.
through the energetic space of where we're at.
Mm. Yeah, you've said before that decrees of commands are more than words, they're actually living frequencies. So, can you share how these decrees are sourced? Are they channeled, remembered, or forged through personal healing and spiritual battles?
All right, thank you. They are all three, Radha. Some of them arrive as memories. Some are ancient Lemurian codes rising from my cellular knowing as a descendant of Lemuria. Others are forged in the fires of direct spiritual warfare. I have lived through attacks, manipulations, betrayals, across all dimensions. And in those moments when no healer or system or external force could help me, I called on Creator directly. And I began to speak with the full force of remembrance. That's when the language of decrees began to flow through me. Other times, the decrees are channeled, you can call it transmissions,
Hmm.
not in the passive sense, but as downloads that demand my embodiment. They come through when I'm in sacred ceremony. You know, when you go deep within you, that's when you put yourself in the space of silence sometimes, and then comes the language of truth, working with the infinite cosmic records. You know, or even guiding a client through a soul retrieval, there's always a test that comes with it. I don't write for theory, I write what works. And whatever need to be burned through illusions. And what the soul wants is that it wants to be rescued. These decrees are real experiences, spiritual fire and divine love.
Mm, that's beautiful. I believe that embodiment is the way, and that we've all had so many soul experiences. And I think the decrees really help us to untangle entanglement.
Mhm.
So they're very urgently needed now more than ever, especially for healers, for starseeds and light warriors. What do you what would you have to say to those?
Okay. Yeah, because the spiritual war is no longer subtle. It's really open. It's everywhere. You can feel it. You can you can hear it, You can see it even in all online. So here it's everywhere really. It's individual and collective. And
Mm-hmm.
contracts are being rewritten in the shadows. Technologies are being used to trap light, and energetic parasites are feeding on the radiance of star seeds before they even awaken.
Mm-hmm.
The time for soft language is over. The time for command is now. So, in this way, I feel very strongly that healers and light workers who have been taught to only be gentle, passive, or endlessly forgiving, it's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
We need more, in order to destroy the distortion. Even angels carry swords, as Archangel Michael carries swords, and all other angels that I've known. The decree is that sword. It is a sacred legal document in the spiritual realms, and it's you can call spiritual warfare is happening. It
Mm-hmm.
reclaims your field, dissolves false contracts, it returns stolen fragments, and activates your rightful protection when you use decrees of commands. So, without this, many healers are operating with open portals and unsealed wounds. So, the decree is not only a luxury, it is a necessity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes so much sense. It's like it is true. I think that's part of the programming is that light workers, you always have to be nice and turn the other cheek. And it's like you really they don't really give you permission to protect yourself, but that's the dogma that keeps people stuck. You are allowed to create commands, and I love the decrees. So, so many people use affirmations, but the language of decrees are so different. What would you say sets decrees apart from decrees of commands apart from other forms of spiritual affirmations?
All right, the difference is, in the authority of how you speak and how you command, because affirmations are often gentle suggestions to the subconscious. They're
Mm-hmm.
important. Don't take it wrong, but they are not command reality. While decrees, when spoken from the heart of the Creator, are spiritual legislation. They are non-negotiable. They invoke Creator's court. They summon divine enforcement, and they are sealed across all realms and timelines. So while prayers ask, decrees declare. Like for example, the Declaration of Independence of the Philippines. That is a declaration. That is a
Mm-hmm.
decree. While affirmations uplift, decrees restructure and changes the degree of energetic field and foundation. They do not beg, they recalibrate. A decree activates karmic returns. So it shuts down interferences, and it rewrites timelines and restores your original blueprint. So when a decree is spoken with alignment and conviction, it's not you speaking as a person. It's you speaking as a soul fused with source, as a conduit.
Mm, wow, that's so
Mhm.
powerful. I'm really happy that you brought this book forward. And in your view, how does working with decrees affect a person's multidimensional field across all timelines, soul layers, dimension, and ancestral imprints, since we're multidimensional beings?
Well, this is a great question. Thank you. Decrees are quantum healing tools. When it's activated properly, they create shock waves through all aspects of soul existence. They collapse false timelines and they extract parasitic codes embedded through lifetimes. So, as you can see, this is so powerful. They clear ancestral trauma, not just for you, but for the entire bloodline. They retrieve fragments scattered in rituals, relationships, and spiritual battles. So these decrees are purification process. They purify your field from synthetic overlays, from karmic interventions, and misused oaths. And sometimes you even know what you put yourself in a contract. So I've seen clients transform within minutes when we do this because they finally spoke what is needed to be spoken in truth and power. And the soul recognizing that tone, it returns home. Decrees are not just spiritual tools, they are soul technologies. And so you can see the huge difference, between all the regular way of doing affirmations and hopes and
Mhm.
wishing, with decrees. The decrees of commands are truly powerful.
I love soul technologies. I don't think I've ever heard that term before. So that sounds like it sounds like a beautiful but ancient way of speaking on things. Soul technology is powerful. You also speak of creator's court and divine enforcement. So for those that may not know, could you explain what creator's court is and how it supports the power behind the decrees?
Absolutely. The Creator's Court is a realm of absolute spiritual justice. It is not a metaphor, it is a real dimensional space that exists beyond manipulation, distortion, or bribery. Because when you enter the court through a decree, you are placing your case before the highest tribunal of divine law. Not karma lords, nor artificial systems pretending to offer justice, but it's authentic through cosmic law. So when a decree is spoken properly, it actually you call in the seraphim orders. And we'll talk more about that in a little while. And then you call in also the divine tribunal and the flames of cosmic law. They review your soul's case and they read your records. And if you're aligned with the truth, they act. So perpetrators are judged and contracts are annulled. So gifts are your own gifts are then restored. This is not about vengeance, it's about restoration. That is the power of Creator's court.
Mm, I love that. I love divine restoration. I feel like everybody could use some of that. Um, and so many of the decrees in this body of work carry really potent justice energy. And what would you say to those who may feel afraid of speaking with such authority, who've taught to stay small, like they might feel intimidated, to speak these because of their programming.
Well, thank you again for that question because the truth is that human beings have been under conditions, and we have been conditioned by our parents, by the school system, by our friends, by beliefs, by old, you know, past lives, whatever it is, we have been conditioned. Okay. So
Mhm.
that's the truth. So I
Yeah.
would say that the fear that was planted to keep you enslaved because when you cannot speak your truth, basically you're trapped in an enslavement. You
Mm-hmm.
have every right to your soul. It's your birthright, every right to your light, and every right to demand the return of what was stolen. You may not even know what was stolen from you.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you've been taught that commanding your sovereignty is dangerous, that is programming. If
Mm-hmm.
you've been told that speaking up is aggressive, it's because your voice threatens their control. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's a big one, you know. But your voice is sacred. Your decree is your roar. You are not here to whisper through chains. You cannot break a chain through a whisper. You are here to break them completely so you can be
Mm-hmm.
free. So we were never meant to be passive participants in our own pain because we are divine architects.
Ooh.
Mhm, mhm. And now is the time to remember how to build or rebuild, how to protect and command our own spiritual landscape, right?
Gosh, I got like the chills when you said divine architects. It's so true because I think we've all been conditioned and programmed that we're just at the mercy of whatever's happening, around us. And
Mhm,
that's just not the case. So I'm wow, that was so powerful when you said divine architects. But
mhm,
let's talk about the energetics, the energetics of the spoken word as a divine architect and what happens in the unseen when we declare a decree out loud with conviction. How does that actually recreate and change
mhm.
reality?
Okay. It's interesting because when I work with my clients, the first thing I ask them is, what's your intention? Okay. And then through the process, when I bring them into the healing method of Lemurian cold healing and infinite cosmic records, through the cleansing process, through the breath work, through every pieces of tools that I use in the healing work, I tell them also that, when you breathe in, you breathe out, right? There's life.
Mm,
So so when you send out a decree, which is your intention, but you just speak it
mhm,
loudly, the universe responds immediately. Your vibration shifts, portals that are not supposed to be there close, and portals that are supposed to be your authentic space where you're supposed to be open up for you. So what happens is that light grids ignite and the body receives instructions. So when this happens, the ancestral codes within you awaken, and your energetic field, which may have been fragmented in time or hijacked, begins to calibrate. So when spoken aloud, these decrees ripple through etheric channels, hitting key points across your matrix. That's why you often feel tingles, pressure, or waves of heat when you do decrees. So
mhm,
the boys, yeah, and the boys that you have right now, if they're tamed or trained to be, muted, your voice need to be activated. And so this is a practice. The voice is a powerful transmitter. It really is, have you heard the first thing when the universe has been created? Let there be, like, let there be light. You've heard this in so many other spiritual realms. They talk about let there be that. So when we speak from the power of
mhm,
our voice, this is a powerful transmitter. When you decree from the soul, not the mind, not the ego, you are actually igniting spiritual fire.
mm,
So entities feel it, allies respond, the field rearranges, worlds, when infused with creator's frequency, become weapons of light and instrument of healing. And this is why we must speak, not just think or hope.
mhm.
Sound is creation, and decree is a divine command.
Phew. Wow, that was a divine download. I feel like my I can feel it in my body as you're speaking this because I feel my subconscious is going, yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa. It's so powerful. It's so powerful. And I want to just address something that I think a lot of people, light workers, feel is that in so many lifetimes we've had to go through persecution, lifetime after lifetime. It's so encoded. So even when you pass away in that lifetime with that trauma, it gets embedded into your light body and things like that. And it comes through into the present lifetime. And I feel like a lot of people that try to do a lot of great things they get really freaked out about speaking out in their current lifetime because they've been kind of conditioned over and over again. And I think that was the point, was the conditioning. So we're breaking through the conditionings, and really these decrees are not just for us, they're really for the collective,
Mhm.
to bring collective healing. Can you please speak into the role of the decree
Mhm.
speaker as a spiritual advocate or a voice for the voiceless?
Yes, this is a good one, Radha, because maybe I can give a little example of past lives that I've seen myself.
Mm-hmm.
As a Cherokee Indian here in the Appalachian Mountains. And that's why I came back to this land because, you know, my Native American Indian Cherokee family has been killed here in this land. And I've seen many visions of the Cherokee Indians in this land where I'm staying right now. And I saw myself as a little girl with shock and trauma with my little brother and my parents. And this is during the Trail of Tears. And so that lifetime, and so as other lifetimes, I felt like there's so much pain and suffering I have experienced, not even to mention this lifetime. But the truth is that you cannot see that in my face that I have suffered because I have led a spiritual life. Many lifetimes after lifetimes. And in that pain and suffering, even though I could not speak, even in this lifetime, I was silenced by my own empathy in watching, listening, and feeling the horror of the kind of world I see around me, even as a
Mm-hmm.
child. My father has been in Vietnam War. I've seen
Mm-hmm.
many people in the Philippines that have suffered very poor. So
Mm-hmm.
I, I'm empathic. So
Mm-hmm.
today, so I speak now not only for myself, but for those who are still trapped in the contracts. They don't remember signing. Sometimes we were tricked in
Mm-hmm.
each lifetime to sign contracts that we don't even desire. So even for the children harvested in rituals, this lifetime that I'm known of, for the ancestors bound by colonial spells, through wars, all kinds
Mm-hmm.
of wars, for the star seeds that was hijacked before they could even awaken. When we speak these decrees aloud, we're becoming living instruments of liberation. You know how that is so important. So what we do is that we are rewriting the story or history. Not,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, not just for ourselves, but for generations forward and back. We are restoring the voice of the earth, the people, the voice of our womb, the voice of our soul. This work is sacred. It is not selfish. It is a great service to humanity. And so I truly encourage people to learn about how to decree, to use those decrees that has been written in my book, decrees of commands, and practice so that they too could be a part of the moving force of breaking the shackles or the bondage that has, been used eons of times to
Mm-hmm.
catch us. I felt like we've been caught into this container of pain and suffering. And really,
Mm-hmm.
God doesn't want us to suffer.
Mm-hmm.
This earth is a beautiful place where we can have paradise, but who's running it?
Mm-hmm.
Leaders who are not doing their work to get the positive spiritual engine running. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Oh my
Y-
goodness. Yeah, no,
It's
I do. I feel it. I
Mhm.
felt like waves of warmth coming through my back, and I felt the power in that because it's this we want to leave the earth a better place than when we
Mhm.
came, and we have to command that into being because we need to bring a lot of these things into spiritual court. I think that's so important that we start being proactive and not just feeling like, oh no, this is happening and that's happening and oh, what do I do? It's like, well, it's time to command.
Mhm.
It's time to command and bring all involved into spiritual court because enough is enough with the bullying and the abuse that's been
Mhm.
going on for eons of time. Um, and what would you say to someone who's maybe really new to this whole concept, this work, who's going through their awakening but feels a deep inner resonance with it? Like how and where should they begin?
Okay, first of all, they need to get the book Decrees of Commands
Hmm.
because this book is divided into three parts.
Hmm.
The first part is about instruction. People need to understand that this is a sacred book that need to be taken seriously. Okay?
Hmm.
So because these are not just affirmations, these are transmissions. They're codex that allows you to tap into important new programming that you needed to understand, that you needed to know. So that's the first part, to
Hmm.
understanding what the book is all about. You need to understand what this is about. Then the second part has to do with simple decrees for personal use.
Hmm.
They're short, they're easy, you can repeat them every day, and they really build up the energy that you need in order to really decree what is desired by your soul. And the third part of the book is the ceremonial aspect of it. So this we encourage everyone that they use this in retreats, in programs, in public places. Hold the book, read the ceremonial parts of it, depending upon what you needed to tackle, what issues you needed to deliver to your people, you know. This book covers a lot of information that is so vital for your understanding. You will learn so much. So I really suggest that everyone, right now the Kindle is out, but eventually soon enough we'll get the book, the paperback.
Hmm.
But to start with, it is really important that they get the Kindle version so that they understand, and then they begin, by using it themselves. You bring yourself in the heart of Creator, because that's a starting point. Without that, that conviction and guidance or protection from the divine,
Hmm.
you're not going to go far with this. You have to be sincere. You have to be devoted to really truly understand what you're doing. And within the heart of Creator, you call the seraphim. Who are the seraphim? They are the fiery, devoted angels of Creator. They go to any place, anywhere, anytime. They are the protector, almighty protector of Creator's work. They do the judgment. They go protect you from all kinds of anything that you needed protection. You can call your ascended masters, your spiritual guides, your ancestors, and let the process of decrease burn what no longer belongs in your field. And
Mm.
yeah, and you can take your time, feel the energy. At first, you may speak slowly, but speak with conviction. You are retraining yourself to have the voice that you need in order to deliver, because it's a deliverance. It's breaking through all the old bondage, manipulation, all the lies. So, but you don't need to be perfect when you do decrease. You only need to be present. So your soul already knows this language. It has
Hmm.
been forgotten. You are not learning something new. You are remembering. And, as a shaman conduit
Hmm.
and healer, I am here to walk with you. We are all here, your spiritual guides and the divine energies that when you call in, they'll come. So when you practice the degrees of commands often, you'll find perfection in the feelings that you'll experience in its power. And truly, I love the decrees of command. And I know you do too, Radha.
Yeah, I love them. So totally, total game changer, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much, Maya, for sharing this sacred wisdom and, just walking the path of remembrance with all of us and with grace and power. And so before we go, would you be willing to just speak a really short decree from the heart of the Creator to bless all those who are listening?
Sure, thank you. So, so my closing invocation. I call forth now from the heart of Creator, a ray of divine remembrance, love, and truth. To all listening, may your voice return to you in full. May all false contracts be burned. May your soul fragments return. May your light be sealed, your heart be freed, and your path be made clear through divine command. And so it is.
Mm. Thank you so much. And just sending so much love and encouragement to all of you listening. If you're this far, giving you a big hug. Thanks for tuning in. We'd love to hear your feedback. Please share below. We'd love to hear your hearts. And you can always grab that book. I'll put the link below. And just know that it's also coming out in paperback and in Audible. So until next time, much love. Bye for now.
Thank you.